Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
We are currently going back and forth with opposing counsel on the conditions that will attach to Chris when he is out pending his upcoming contempt hearing that has been scheduled for a couple weeks. So now we've got kind of a twin chute that we have to go down, and there is going to be some rigorous litigation over the upcoming weeks, both in respect of the AHS order that was granted ex parte, and of course we take the position that that was granted unlawfully, but also the contempt hearing that is impending for Chris, which is also of a very serious nature.
Sheila Gunn Reid for Rebel News, and I want to give you a quick update on the case of Chris Scott. Chris Scott is the owner of the Whistle Stop Cafe in Mirror, Alberta. He's been leading the restaurant Rebellion. That started when he opened his restaurant in defiance of the lockdowns way back in January, and he hasn't closed since. Now, last Wednesday, his restaurant was chained up by the RCMP at the request of Alberta Health Services, cutting the small town of Mirror, Alberta, off from its only gas station and convenience store. Thursday, the government, in secret, without telling Chris's lawyer, got a restraining order against him and Glenn Carrott of United We Roll and unnamed Jane and John Doe. So that's the rest of us, preventing us from organizing, participating in, or promoting what the government now calls illegal public gatherings, which is peaceful public assembly in protest of the government. You see, Alberta has ostensibly banned public disagreement with the government using this restraining order. Now, Chris was arrested for breaching the restraining order on Saturday night after he held a protest in Mirror attended by 1,500 people, and he's been in remand in Red Deer since then. It's Tuesday afternoon as I'm recording this, and we just received an update from Chris's lawyer, Chad Williamson from Williamson Law. He's a litigation specialist, and he and his team at Williamson Law are the absolute best in the business. They've been fighting hard for Chris as he stares down the government for months now. Chad and his team are not only working to get Chris out of jail, but they're also working to overturn that restraining order. So here's the update we just received from Chad.
Now, we've just gotten out of two separate court hearings at the Court of Queen's Bench. The first with respect to the procedure that is going to occur for us to make our application to the court to set aside the injunctive order that was granted ex parte for AHS last Thursday. Now, the court has basically stated that we are going to have a chance on Thursday morning to make submissions to go after the validity of that order with respect to whether or not it was given properly and whether or not full disclosure was provided to the court, and if not, whether or not that is sufficient to have that order set aside on procedural grounds. We also appeared at a bail hearing at the Court of Queen's Bench before a different justice to speak to Chris's release, which is potentially going to happen this afternoon. So we did make some headway there. We are currently going back and forth with opposing counsel on the conditions that will attach to Chris when he is out pending his upcoming contempt hearing that has been scheduled for a couple weeks. So now we've got kind of a twin chute that we have to go down, and there is going to be some rigorous litigation over the upcoming weeks, both in respect of the AHS order that was granted ex parte, and of course we take the position that that was granted unlawfully, but also the contempt hearing that is impending for Chris, which is also of a very serious nature, and we are waiting for disclosure from the Crown on their allegations that he is in contempt of that May 6th order. Obviously, there's a kind of a nexus relationship between these two, and one hearing kind of speaks to the other. The good news is that we should be able to get into court this Thursday to make preliminary discussions about the injunctive order upon which all of this stuff has been founded. Now, I need to get back to work. It's obviously a pleasure to give everybody the good news that we can hope that Chris will be released from custody today, but the war is far from won, and we have an uphill battle ahead of us, both in this kind of this twin path that we've now found ourselves in. So we'll continue to do the good work that we've been doing here at the office and fighting for Chris, the whistle stop, and of course Glenn and everybody else that has been involved in these proceedings.
It's Tuesday afternoon as I'm filming this, which means Chris Scott at the Whistle Stop has already spent 3 nights in jail for refusing to go broke and just shut up about it. I've got a very important update to bring to this story. Between the time that we filmed the original update and now, it is 4:20 in the afternoon here in Alberta. Things have changed rapidly for Chris Scott. We've just received word from Chad Williamson, Chris Scott's FightTheFines.com lawyer, that Chris Scott is set to be released momentarily. Chad Williamson advises me that Chris Scott's conditions are to obey the public health orders. But unlike Pastor Archer's order, Chad says that he fought to include the following clause. This release order shall be without prejudice to the respondent's right and ability to contest the May 6th order in further proceedings before this court, and no inferences shall be drawn in such proceedings on the basis that this release order was pronounced. So that's an indication that Chris and Chad plan to fight ferociously that restraining order against the right to protest in groups larger than 5 here in Alberta that was obtained in secret without Chris or Chad's knowledge. Chad also says that this is still a very live matter and that he has a huge battle set down for Justice Chambers on Thursday, 10 a.m., and he's going after the procedural validity of the injunction order on the basis that it was improper to have been heard ex parte. So that's in secret without Chris or Chad being involved in the process. So that's the update right now, friends. Chris Scott of the Whistle Stop is set to be released momentarily. We've been helping Chris from the very beginning in his battle with the government through our civil liberties project, FightTheFines.com, where we connect people like Chris who've received lockdown tickets with lawyers and civil liberties litigation specialists like Chad Williamson at no cost to them. If you'd like to help us continue to help Chris and the over 1,000 businesses and people we're helping fight their lockdown tickets in court, please donate today at FightTheFines.com. Donations there qualify for a charitable tax receipt through the registered Canadian charity, the Democracy Fund. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. It's Tuesday afternoon and Chris Scott, the owner of the Whistle Stop Cafe, remains in jail after he was arrested Saturday night for protesting the lockdowns on restaurants in Alberta. To help us help Chris do our best to get him out of jail, please donate today at FightTheFines.com. Donations there to offset legal fees now qualify for a charitable tax receipt through the registered Canadian charity, the Democracy Fund.